In this training video, I'm going to show you how to process benefits as a heat worker. And so this is the first approval process, I guess, before an editor comes in and edits and then provides the final approval. So this is where the heat worker would come in so that we're starting here with Timothy's case again. So Timothy and Mandy, if you just watch the posting earned and unearned income, we use this case as well to show you how to post different types of income. And then we also, at the very end of that video, I showed you how to check eligibility to see if a case is eligible or not eligible. So that's where we're going to start. I'm going to repeat what I did on that last video. So we're here on the case home. What you want to do is click on the program. So click on heat. Now you're here on the program home. And then we're going to pretend like we didn't check eligibility. So I'm going to check eligibility like it's my first time. And when you check eligibility, what that means is it's going to take all the evidence that you've posted and applied to the case, and it's going to bring it into the formula that we have behind the scenes. It's going to tell you, it's going to give you a decision on whether the household is eligible or not. If they are eligible, it'll tell you they're eligible. You can see the decision. If they're not eligible, it'll tell you why as well. Okay, so when you so what's important to remember, I'm going to do that again, actually, because I forgot to tell you. So if you click on check eligibility, all you have to do is click on program start date. If you don't click on program start date, you'll get an error. So this is really important. Make sure that this box is checked. And then you click on check eligibility. All right, and then it brings you to here to the initial decision screen, and it'll tell you right here that their income exceeds limits, so they're not eligible. And so again, if you go into view decision detail, it'll tell you why. You'll see that they're over income for a household of 2. So let's go back to the program home. Just close that out. And so let's say, for example, this was real. Let's say that they really were over income, all of that, and it's only a household of 2. There's nothing else you can do. They don't have any medical expenses to kind of get them to be eligible by net income. And so what you'll do is you'll close that out. You'll go back to the program home, and then you'll process benefits. So this is important to know. Whether they're eligible or not, you still have to process benefits, okay? So even though it showed that they were ineligible, you still want to come back here and process benefits. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you click on process benefits, and then you would click on this little box here next to view, and then you click save. And then it brings you here, and then if it'll show you that the status is denied. So the system is ready to send out the denial notice. So if you click on accept, then it'll deny the application, and then a notice will go out that night, letting them know that they were denied for benefits because their income exceeded the limits. So let me show you what that looks like. Sometimes it takes a second. Okay, so now you'll see under programs that the status of the case is denied and they're not eligible. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back and change that because I want to show you what it looks like when it's approved. So let's go back and reopen the program. Yeah, let's reopen it. So this is just for training purposes, but because I want to reopen the program. So for the application date, I'm going to just change the application date to today. Let's see. I'm going to say, I'm just going to choose close and error. Nah, we'll do new application. Okay. So one thing to take note of while this is thinking is a customer can apply multiple times in a season if they've been denied. If they never received a benefit, but something happens in their income situation and that makes that would make them possibly eligible for the program, they can always reapply. But once they get a benefit or are awarded a benefit, then um, that triggers the system to deny any future applications because within the same season. So now you'll see that the status of the application is back into receive status. I'm going to go back into evidence. I want to make sure that all the evidence is still there. Okay, the evidence that we put in is still here. But what I want to do now is I want to actually manipulate the evidence to make them eligible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete Timothy's earnings. So I delete and then apply that deletion. Okay, so now it's only showing Mandy's. So this will hopefully make them eligible, income eligible. So let's see. So we're gonna go to heat, check eligibility again. Click on program start date, check eligibility. All right, so now you see that they are eligible now because I removed that income. So this is what you'll see if they are eligible. You'll see the eligible members listed, and you'll also see who is getting paid. And so it looks like Dominion, looks like half and half. So 50% is going to Dominion and then 50% is going to Timothy because it looks like their power is included in their rent. Okay, so let's look at view decision detail to get a breakdown. So without Timothy's income, they are now income eligible. Their total income amount is $1,316 now. For a household size of 2, the actual federal poverty level income limit is $2,155, so they are well below. And then if you look under here, it'll tell you what their total gross earned income was. It was $1,161.26. And then under unearned income, if you remember from the previous video, we actually had posted a $100 cash contribution and $287 in general assistance. And so that's showing up here. And we don't give a disregard for unearned income. So that's just going to be what it is. And then under the income test, you'll see that the total gross earned income, again, was $1,161. The earned income 20% disregard is here, the $232.25. So if you subtract the 20% disregard from the actual earned income amount, you'll get the current income, which is $929.01. And then it adds the gross unearned income, the $387 added to $929, and that's where the $1,316.01 comes from, which is the income amount here. Okay. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see a breakdown even further of so this is the formula for how they get their benefits determined. So we look at what their net income is, and that's listed here, the 1316. What their dwelling standard energy cost is based on the type of dwelling they're in. So it looks like they're in a house. And so the max amount we can give for a house is $211. And then also their fuel type is natural gas. So those two things put together give them the energy cost amount of $211. And then you add in energy burden of 160. It doesn't look like they meet any of our target group credits. If they did, then that would show up here. So if they met any of the 3 target groups, then you would see $150 credit here. If they met a propane or oil credit, if their primary source of fuel is source of energy or heat, I should say, is propane or oil, then you would see $150 credit here. But they don't. So their total amount based on their income and the formula that we have is $368. This is their benefit amount. And then you'll also see under here, again, the members living in the household, the payee payment detail. You'll be able to see kind of the breakdown, the 50%, 50%, the benefit amounts. So that's how you would read this screen, which is the benefit calculation screen. Okay, the household composition. So there's lots of tabs up here, which are really helpful. So if you go to household composition tab, you'll just see who all the members of the household are. If you had multiple household members, It'll tell you whether they were eligible or not, and why. So if they were counted in the household or not. If you had someone undocumented, it would show here that they were ineligible. If you go to financial, this shows you all the list of financial evidences that we have in the case. And then if you went to non-financial, it would show you all the evidences that are not financial. So all the household information, the citizenship information, all of that stuff. So if you came across a case where someone is showing ineligible, but you're not sure why, this is where you would want to come and see. So let's say that it was saying that Mandy was an ineligible member, but you know for sure that she should be eligible. If we forgot to put in, let's see, like let's say that her social security number was pending. So this would actually be a red X, and this would indicate to you that you need to go check the social security number. Okay. So obviously that's not the case here, but I just wanted to make you aware that if you do see any X's here, that would be the reason why someone would be ineligible. Okay. And then again, if you click on case members, it gives you case member details. So if you clicked on this drop down, it'll show all the different members of the household. This is also a good place to come and see if they meet any of our target groups. So it would tell you if they were disabled. It would tell you what their age was. And then the last tab here. So view rules, I mean, you're not really going to be using this, so I wouldn't worry about it. But then if you click on view PDF, this is a summary of the benefit calculation. This is a summary of the benefit calculation, and it shows you all the information that you need for the customer. It gives a breakdown of the income. It gives a breakdown of the formula that we used, and then also lists what the benefit amount is, and then also who the payees are, like who the vendors are, or if it's getting paid to the household, then it'll show who that is. And then it also has the declaration here. So if there's someone coming to your office and they're sitting in front of you, you did an application online, you can print this and have them sign, and then file away in your records. You'd actually want to image this into Content Navigator, which we'll learn about later, but that's our imaging system where we will store all of our documents. So this is what you would use for that. Weatherization will also be using this as their weatherization certificate. And so that's what that is. So at this point, we've checked eligibility. We've gone through that process. We know that they're eligible. Let's close out of this. Let's close out of that and brings us back. Let's go back to the program home, which you can get to from the vertical toolbar. All right, so we're back here to the program home. Now what you want to do, same thing. Same thing you did when they were over income and you knew that they were going to be denied. You click on process benefits again. Again, you click on that little checkbox next to view. And then here, the difference is here, now it tells you that their status is eligible. And then you'll want to click accept. All right, and now you'll see it takes you right back to the case home, and you'll see that the status is on hold now. So now that the status is on hold, an editor can come in and pick it up and approve the benefits. They'll have a process where they come in, they check all the evidence, check all the verifications, make sure everything looks good, and then they give the final approval for the benefits to be paid out. And that's how you would process benefits as a worker. One thing that I would say to pay attention to that's really important, and there'll be a training video all about tasks, is from the case home. If you go to the vertical toolbar and click on tasks, you'll see all the tasks that are associated with this case. Okay, and then the owner of the case, if they click on my tasks up here, these tasks will be on their list of my tasks. Okay, but if you're not the owner of that case, the only way that you'd be able to see the tasks associated with that case is if you were on the program home, or I'm sorry, the case home, and you clicked on tasks from the vertical toolbar. Okay, so if you're a supervisor and editor and you're wanting to check what tasks are associated with this case, then you'll want to come into this. So we'll have a whole training on tasks, and so a different training video, but I just wanted you to be aware that this is how you would get to the tasks that are associated with this case specifically. If I was to choose, if I was to click on my tasks up here, it would be all the tasks that are associated with all of my cases. So if you were to come here to the left and click on assign tasks, you'll see that I have like lots and lots of tasks. And so again, we'll do tasks in a different training video, but I thought that'd be good to show you as part of this process. So, all right, so that's how you would process benefits as a heat worker, get it on hold and waiting for an editor to pick it up and approve it.